I remember we were shooting in Italy, the Via Dolorosa, the Way of the Cross, carrying the crossbeam, and Jesus he's getting beat up by the guards, and then they crown him with thorns. As we were shooting locally in Italy, and one of the Italian guys playing a Roman soldier, he has to slug me in the stomach. And he came over to me, and he was in tears. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I said, No. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But it felt like he was apologizing to me as Jesus for having to do this, for him as a person having to do this to Jesus. He had a very hard time with it. And so many people were affected in ways that none of us anticipated. You read the script, you know what's coming. You read your Bible, you know what's on the page. But then to live it out, even as a portrayal, it takes his passion to a whole other level. I'd seen a lot of comments that people would say, "Oh, I can't, I'm not going to watch season 6. I can't watch season 6. I can't take it. I can't take it." Well, to them I say, don't abandon Jesus in his hour of need just because it's hard for you. Because then you're doing what everybody else did. You're there with him for the miracles. You're there with him for the good times. You're there with him for the wedding at Cana and the changing of the water into wine. But then you're going to run from the cross. And as Catholics, we are confronted with the cross every time we step into our church. We are confronted with the crucifixion every time we receive the Eucharist, every time we go through the holy sacrifice of the Mass. It is reenacting Calvary. It is reenacting the touching of heaven to earth in that moment when Jesus gave up everything for each and every one of us. Whether or not we know him, he went through it all. And so I encourage you that are nervous or afraid or like, "I don't think I can handle it." You can handle it. He knows you can handle it. He will give you the strength to go through this emotionally, because it's important to experience this with him. Because then when you have the resurrection, it's so much sweeter.